You want to see evil people gloat for a bit?
President Trump's big, beautiful bill has passed in the House. We say appears because until that is official, we cannot say that it has, but it certainly looks like it indeed has, Trey.
Yeah, and he had to put a deadline on it, Sandra. How many times have you been on running out of money watch? We have these little countdown clocks, government shutdown.
Okay.
The most predictable thing in the world is the calendar, but every year they need a deadline, either Christmas or holiday. So he had to impose a deadline. It just happened to coincide with our 249th birthday.
Trey, let's listen.
The yeas are 218, the nays are 214. The motion is adopted.
Yippee!
Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
New reporting reveals that Republican holdouts on Trump's bill were swayed to vote yes after Trump gave them signed merch. Mr. Trump told him he could go to the pro shop and pick out a shirt. That can't be real. That can't be real. This would work on me, though. With, like, the right hat. That can't be real, though. I don't think that's real. There's no f***ing way. There are other things that happened, and this is what's being reported on. There's no way. Like, come on. These people are all millionaires, but it is a little bit funny.
All right, Trey, there you have it. Your reaction, Speaker Johnson making it official.
I don't know how many miracles it takes to qualify for sainthood or canonization, but Mike Johnson has threaded the needle so many times with a really narrow majority.
That is true.
Look, I did not think Kevin McCarthy should be replaced, period, new paragraph. But Mike Johnson has done an amazing job with a very narrow margin. He's just a really modest guy, so he's not going to take a lot of credit for it.
You know, Trey, Republicans really couldn't lose too many votes here. They get this thing with a 4-vote margin. They had 2 members of their own party vote against. The cohesion that you're seeing.
Fitzpatrick, his brother and I served together. I have a lot of respect.
218 to 214, you saw.
I hate looking at this guy. He looks like a racist caricature of whites. He's what, like, I don't know, Liberian comic artists drew after they made it over on the boats. That's your people? I denounce. He does look like how Stone Toss draws gay people. Yeah, I don't know. That's not a relevant tab. This is a relevant tab.
So we're going to bring in now Republican Congressman Greg Stwie of Florida. He's a member of the House Ways and Means and Intelligence Committees. Congressman, thank you for joining us. I know it's been a long night, now a long morning for you guys. Yeah. But look, you're on the 1-yard line, right? You just got to wait for Hakeem Jeffries to finish speaking on the floor. Are Republicans ready to land this plane?
Yeah, I mean, you're not hearing from any members. You got the rule passed last night. You're not hearing from any members that they're a no on the actual bill, except for Mr. Massey.
Why does this guy also look f***ed up? Why is it? Okay.
So I think we're going to be able to land this plane as soon as Hakeem Jeffries gets done talking. I don't know how long he's going to go. Originally, they thought he was just going to speak an hour, and he's still speaking. So the moment he's done, the speaker will then have probably a minute or 2 minutes to speak. Actually, he can speak as long as he wants to, but he's not going to speak for 8 hours. And then we're going to get to a vote. And so hopefully
he looks like he was just rescued from a deserted island. Like, he looks like he had Wilson with him. Doesn't it? Like, he's so splotchy tan and he's so salt and pepper. I'm not even saying he's ugly. I'm just saying, like, he looks like f***ed up, you know?
At the end of the day today, President Trump will be having a big, beautiful bill on his desk.
Are you confident that Republicans are winning the messaging war when it comes to this bill? You got Jeffries on the floor right now calling it the one.
Absolutely not. The bill is very unpopular with Americans. It's I think it's what is it, like 34 to 66? No, I think it's like 36 to 64.
big, ugly bill. You've got other Democrats making it sound like it's the apocalypse if this thing passes. Obviously, Republicans say this is going to help working class folks. They point to no tax on tips, to border security, to extending those Trump tax cuts. But this is obviously going to play well into the midterms next year, and it's going to be the biggest part of Trump's agenda so far. So are you confident that Republicans are, the American public is with Republicans on this?
Yeah, just the first piece on the border is everything that Donald Trump campaigned on, everything that the American people elected him president to do, everything that they put us and Republicans in charge of the House.
Didn't that tip shit get removed? No, but it's set to expire after 3 years. So the tax cuts to billionaires are permanent, but the no tax on tips is set to expire after 2028, essentially. So the idea being like you keep the good just long enough to bait people and you hold out on the bad until after the midterms. It's very possible that Trump is the most, I have delivered on my promises president in modern history. Project 2025 has almost been completed. It's not even a joke. Seriously, you can follow any one of those tracker websites, but all of the shit laid out there, all the Heritage Foundation stuff, it's all there. It's crazy. He promised a lot of bad, and he's doing it.
House and the Senate to secure our country and to get 12 million illegals and criminals and murderers and rapists and terrorists out of our country. So they're going to see the effects of that right away. And the reason why we wanted to get this done so soon in this term is in the midterms as we go into next year, people are going to be seeing they're not getting taxes on tips. People are going to be seeing that they get a $6,000 or $8,000.
But the Medicaid cuts don't come in until after the midterms. I think this is something that you have to fix at an administrative level. If you are going to make any adjustments whatsoever to tax law, tax subsidies, tax cuts, anything involving the fiscal relationship between the U.S. government and the people, it has to happen at a set date after the passage of a bill. There needs to be it is by law, this shit takes place 2 months after the change. That is when it gets implemented, full stop, always the same time, consistent. Because otherwise, it's always going to be shit like this. Remember when the Biden administration set some of the good stuff that he did, like the cutting Medicaid or Medicare funded medications costs down? He set that to only be after he wasn't president anymore. Wasn't that great? He was like, oh no, we can wait a few years on this one. 5D chess.
Credit on their income taxes if they're on Social Security. People are going to see that their taxes are still low. The investment in our country because taxes are low. So you're going to see the economic output from this bill in the next 6 to 8 months. So right as we get into next year, as everybody's looking at the midterms, everybody's going to be seeing that the economy is doing well, more money is in their pocket and not in the pocket of the government. And so you're absolutely going to see a big swing towards Republicans and President Trump's agenda for getting this done.
And you bring up the border. I do want to talk about another topic here, because we saw yesterday an Obama-appointed federal judge block President Trump's executive order cracking down on asylum seekers at the southern border, as well as his declaration of an invasion. The ruling said that Trump exceeded his legal authority by declaring that invasion in order to severely limit the asylum applications for illegal crossers. Take a listen to former Deputy Assistant Attorney General Tom Dupree.
I think this judge may not have gotten the memo. The United States Supreme Court said nationwide injunctions are a thing of the past. Judges have to act within their lanes. They can't get too far out over their skis in granting broad relief. But this decision is pretty striking. The administration is going to fight this.
It's not a nationwide injunction, though. It's specific to the border. I don't think that passed. Whatever, it doesn't matter. It's Fox News. Why am I arguing?
So after that ruling, President Trump posted, quote, "We still have radical left judges trying to open the border and defy the Supreme Court, which is why Republicans must be smart, strong, and never let these crazed judges turn us into a third world country." Now, that decision came after the Homeland Security Department released brand new data this week showing that in June, there were a record low number of both nationwide border encounters and illegal immigrant apprehensions at the southern border. Here's the craziest part. There were 0 illegal immigrants released into the U.S. You compare that to the highs under the Biden administration, when we saw as many as 12,000 encounters per day.
You'd think it would be difficult to simultaneously brag about how nobody's coming up through the border, but also say that we're being subjected to an invasion. You'd think that'd be like a difficult circle to square, but they sure do it. They sure do it. Like, no effort at all. It takes them absolutely no effort. Crazy. Doublethink? I mean, in their case, they're just lying. Doublethink has to be cognitive dissonance. Yeah, they're just lying.
Congressman, the border is quiet. It is locked down right now, but yet again, another day, another federal judge making a ruling impacting Trump's immigration policy. Your reaction?
Yeah, the border's secure thanks to President Trump. We're sending reinforcements with this bill for Border Patrol and the tools that he's going to need to continue to secure our border and make our nation safe. And again, you're not going to be able to prevent these radical judges, even though there was a U.S. Supreme Court case decided on this very issue not too long ago that said that one judge can't do nationwide injunctions. So this is going to be overturned, and I'm so glad we have a president and an attorney general who's going to fight against these rogue judges.
Yep, and that federal judge said his order won't take effect for 2 weeks because he's going to give the Trump administration time to appeal that decision, and that is something they're obviously going to do. So we will see how it all plays out.
Honestly, I expected a little bit more of like a victory lap tone. You know? Hello, Mamdani. Ooh, they're really Mamdani posting. 1, 2, 3, 4. He is the center of the Democratic Party. Do you think they know how bad this thing is? Of course they do, but they don't care. Pretty bleak, huh? Did they get an angle on him now? Yes, he's a Muslim and they're going to deport him. That's the angle.